everyone, welcome to my list of the best TV episodes of 2023. And this list also serves as suggestions for the best dramatic presentation short form Hugo Award for works under 90 minutes. As a reminder, the Hugo Awards are 100% nominated and selected by thousands of fans, just like you and me, who have memberships for Worldcon. With Hugo nominations opening soon, it's a perfect time to catch up on the best TV episodes of 2023. I'll put a list of the links for Worldcon and Hugos in the notes below. If you find this video useful, I would love you to like it and subscribe for more, and you will make my day. All right, here we go. So this list is not for the whole series. It's just the episodes, which means some of my favorite TV series may not be listed here. As I go through the list, let me know what you think. What did you love? What did you hate? What did I miss? I definitely want to know. And now for my best TV episodes of 2023 in no particular order. Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2 on Paramount Plus. This entire season was terrific, but there were 3 episodes that rose above the pack. Episode 3, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, is a smartly done time travel story that has La'an and Kirk traveling back in time to the 21st century Earth to stop a Romulan attack that would change humanity's history. But it is their personal story and their connection that makes this episode so meaningful. Episode 7, Those Old Scientists, is an act of storytelling brilliance that also incorporates a time travel element that brings characters from the Lower Decks animated series into Captain Pike's time on the Enterprise. We see their reactions to Starfleet legends of their past, and their reactions are a joy to watch as they try to get back home without changing the future. Episode 9, Subspace Rhapsody, is by far the most brilliant episode of the season. The Enterprise encounters a rift in space that causes their reality to shift into a musical reality, and the crew's reaction to breaking out into song is fantastic. It's hard to make a musical episode, but Subspace Rhapsody feels natural and organic within the Star Trek universe because of the strong story structure, tight dialogue and lyrics, and well-developed characters. This may be my favorite episode of the year. The Doctor Who special episodes on Disney+. All 4 episodes were great, but there were 2 that stood out. Special episode number 3, The Giggle, brings the Doctor face to face with an old foe, the Toymaker, who's dead set on winning their final contest. All of the 60th anniversary specials are fantastic, but The Giggle takes the series to the next level by bringing back the feel of classic Doctor Who in a way that is fresh and exciting. This episode is filled with wonder and dread, and it will keep you on the edge of your seat the whole time. Special episode number 4, also known as Season 14, Episode 0, The Church on Ruby Road, features Ncuti Gatwa as the new Doctor and is utterly amazing. The story is tight and kicks into gear with the mystery of Ruby's birth, followed by the introduction of a whole new set of villainous goblins who are also captivating. Ahsoka, Season 1 on Disney+. This series was so highly anticipated that it had a hard time living up to expectations when released as an episodic series week by week. However, there was one episode that turned the tide, and you knew they were hitting their stride. Episode 5, Part 5, Shadow Warrior, takes Ahsoka into the past to confront Anakin. This is a return to the best storytelling that Star Wars does, and it reminds us why the Clone Wars series was so special. This is the episode we were all waiting for years. The Last of Us, season 1 on Max. This was a great season that gave us a new spin on the apocalypse. However, the series was at its best when it focused in on character relationships, and there was one episode that was truly gut-wrenching. Episode 3, Long, Long Time, takes us sideways in the Last of Us universe to meet two men who find a way to survive during the apocalypse. We only see the main characters, Joel and Ellie, at the end, and that's totally fine. This is one of those very small and tender stories that you don't know you need to see until you've seen it. However, it will be more meaningful if you watch the first 2 episodes so that you get the gist of the world. Loki, season 2 on Disney Plus. Season 1 was spectacular, and series 2 felt a little bit lost until it got closer to the end. The final episode pulled it all together. Episode 6, Glorious Purpose, is the season and series finale. This is the episode where Loki truly grows as a god, and he realizes what is important to him and what he is willing to sacrifice for those he loves and for the universe itself. This Loki is the best of the Lokis, and it made the entire season worthwhile, even though the ending was fairly terrifying. The Mandalorian, season 3 on Disney Plus. The first 2 seasons were amazing, and the 3rd season was solid. However, there was one episode that stood out because of how well it connected all of the stories of the Mandalorians together. Episode 7, Chapter 23, The Spies, is the heart of the Mandalorian, with old enemies sacrificing themselves to save each other for the greater good. There are so many threads that come together in this episode, and you can't help but to feel like there may be hope for Mandalore. Plus, the scene with Grogu driving the robot is Star Wars gold. Good Omens, season 2 on Netflix. Everyone's favorite angel and demon are at it again, but season 2 was not quite on par with the first season. However, there was an episode that surpassed them all. Episode 5, Chapter 5, The Ball, has Aziraphale and Crowley throwing a ball in the bookshop, because, of course, that's exactly what they would do. And the surprises just keep coming, from a demon attack to mysteries being solved. However, it is the relationship between Aziraphale and Crowley that sparkles. The love and friendship that these two share is what makes this series work. And this episode exemplifies what they mean to each other. Star Trek Picard season 3 on Paramount Plus. This season gutted me. The entire thing was fantastic, and it was everything I hoped it would be. And the final episode was the cherry on top of the Next Generation and Picard franchises. Episode 10, The Last Generation, is the absolutely standout episode in a stellar season. This episode reminds us of why we loved the original series and these characters. Even better, we see how their children have taken on the best parts of the parents and brought them to bear in service of Starfleet at a moment when the future of the universe was at stake. Star Wars, The Bad Batch, season 2 on Disney Plus. This is an exceptional series. While the first season remains my favorite, there were several powerful episodes in season 2 that resonated with everything that makes Star Wars great. Episode 3, The Solitary Clone, pulls away from the group dynamic to do a deep dive on Crosshair and his experiences. He is such an interesting and fascinating character who honestly believes he is making the right decisions, but starts to see things differently as time goes by. And that is what makes this episode so compelling. It's an inside look at what makes the Empire tick and how understanding fuels personal growth. And that can be very dangerous for a clone. Episode 8, Truth and Consequences, brings about the birth of the Empire as we know it. All of the threads and plots from the different shows and seasons come together in this episode. The screenwriting and storytelling is smart, showing depth and decisiveness in how the narrative comes together, with Emperor Palpatine shining as a political mastermind. It's truly an epic moment in the Star Wars storyline. And that is my list of the best TV episodes of 2023. This year has seen some incredible episodic storytelling, and these are just some of the best episodes, but there are so many others. I will add a full list of the series in the notes below in case you're looking for more. If you didn't see your favorite here, let me know. I definitely want to know what you're watching and what you think. I hope you found this list useful. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. If you haven't watched my list of the best films of 2023, you definitely should. All right, everybody, thanks again and happy viewing. I'll see you later. Bye.